Hello YouTube. This is your girl Ty, and I first of all want to apologize for having been absent for so long, and I want to explain. I've been trying to make videos for the last month, and every time I try to get ready to do one, something crazy happens. It'll stop, it'll stall out, it'll do stupid stuff. And so I haven't been able to update. And so I really apologize for that. So I'm going to make a video now, see if what happens, and pray for the best. Okay, let's get this started. So the last time I made a video, I said to you all that I was going to be starting Clomid. And that was I think that was in July. In August, I started that. That was my first cycle of Clomid. I started at 50 milligrams a day for days 5 through 9. Well, when it did the end of the at the end of that, I was supposed to have a progesterone check at 7 days after I finished it, I think, something like that. Anyway, my progesterone should have been about 15, but it was at 11.6. So obviously I didn't do too well that ovulation cycle. So the plan was I was supposed to go do another cycle of Clomid in September and see how that went, and then go for an IUI in October. Well, they decided in their infinite wisdom to put me on Clomid for September and then have IUI in September. I was completely thrown off. I was completely flabbergasted. I was completely outdone. Not in a bad way, but I was just shocked because it was so soon. I wasn't expecting that. So they bumped me to 100 milligrams. I did 100 milligrams. After that, after I finished it, they had me come in for, and it was day 5 through 9. They had me come on day 13 to do an ultrasound to see what my follicles looked like. They looked okay, but they weren't exactly where they needed to be, so they gave me a couple more days. They had me do a trigger shot. Now, trigger shot actually pushes you to ovulate. And so I did that on day 13, 14, 15 of my cycle, that night, that Friday night. And so my IUI was scheduled for that Sunday, which that was this past Sunday. The 26th or 25th, whatever Sunday that was. So I just had my IUI this past Sunday. How have I been feeling since that? Well, some interesting things have happened. Of course, they tell you that after an IUI, you can be really crampy. So I was kind of crampy for the first few days. Well, Friday, I woke up to some bleeding, which it could be implantation bleeding. I don't know. But I can't attribute it to anything else because my period does not start technically until next Saturday. So there was no reason for me to have any blood there. So I think it's implantation bleeding. I could be wrong. I don't know. And do know it's too early to test. So I won't even know if I'm pregnant. I'm not even going to try to test until next Saturday. So I'm going to let my body do what it's going to do and see what happens and hope for the best. So I want all y'all fingers crossed. I have been having like cramping on one side where could be still implanting. I don't know. All I know is I had the IUI last Sunday. I had some cramping after the IUI. I had some weird feelings a few days later, like stomach problem, like upset, but kind of queasy, but not. And then I was extremely exhausted the night or the day before I had the bleeding. I was extremely exhausted. And we had Ty Tribbett. I don't know if anybody knows him or not, but we had a really famous gospel artist come to our church that Thursday night. I didn't even want to go. I had to go because I'm in leadership. I didn't want to go because I was so exhausted. And then that next morning, about 6 o'clock, I wake up and wipe after going to the bathroom, and there it is, bright red blood. Or not bright. It was bright, then dark, then. But it was enough there for like 2-3 wipes, and it was gone. Like nothing else has happened since then. Like, okay, so today, I did have a lot of cervical mucus that was like lotiony. It wasn't the thick kind. It was like the lotiony consistency, and it was white. And they do say that that's also what happens around implantation. I'm not trying to jump the gun because I don't want to be disappointed and I don't want to be frustrated. So I'm just saying all this stuff is happening. It's weird, but we will see. So Monday I go for a progesterone check. I don't know if they can tell I'm pregnant from that. I know they're not going to do a pregnancy test at that point. They're only trying to see if my progesterone is where it should be. So we will see what happens. And I will come back and I will video on Monday if this thing does right. I don't even know if this one's going to do right. If it does, I will just be very happy. So I don't know, ladies. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my body. I'm hoping this is my cycle. I'm hoping it's my moment. We will see. I'll have to tell you all what happened the day of my IUI. That day. Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you. So my husband works at night, and when he got home a little earlier than he would have usually gotten home. So he got home at about 4 o'clock Sunday morning. He slept. And I said, okay, babe, let's go ahead and get up, because he slept till about 8 o'clock. My IUI was at 10. I said, let's get up. Let's get ourselves together, because he was supposed to submit a sample before, submit a sample. And then, we'll get a sample. And then I was supposed to hold on to it until we got to the doctor's office. And I knew he would need time. And I didn't want it to be rushed, because I already knew that was already stressful, because you're trying to do this so we can get, do what we got to do. He waited till the last minute to wake up. The very last minute to wake up. And then because of the pressure of having to do it so quick, it wasn't going right. And it was not, you know what I mean? It wasn't. And so by the time he got ready, and by the time, he was trying to, and it still wasn't working, it was like 9:45, and we supposed to be at the doctor's office at 10. We live about 25 minutes away. And so I'm getting angry. And I admit I was getting upset, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. So he kept trying, it just wasn't working. So I said, okay, let me turn off all the lights, and I'm just going to leave the house, because I want you to be stress free. So I called the doctor. I called my girlfriend. I called one of my best friends, and I just lost it, because I'm like, this is not happening. Today of all days, I was so irate and frustrated. And she calmed me down. Then at 10 o'clock, I called the doctor's office. I told him, I said, we're running late. We're running late. Because by then it was 10 o'clock. So they're like, what time you think you'll be here? I said, about 10:15, 10:20. We're on our way. We're coming. So he comes out the door, and he was like, I didn't get it all. And I'm like, what? Said, I didn't get it all in there. Some of it got wasted. Why did he tell me that? I absolutely lost my mind. You would have thought he told me somebody died. I cried and I cried and I cried. I cried like a baby, because I'm like, why first of all, we late. Second of all, we didn't get all what we needed to get. So it literally looked like it was nothing in there. I was about fit to be tied. You hear me? So I'm crying all the way to the doctor's office. I'm just like livid and mad and hurt, and just like, well, I don't even know why we're going. Get to the doctor's office finally. We're not speaking to each other, because I'm just done. And he's hurt and upset because he knows I'm upset. And at this point, he's feeling like, what did I do? So I get back there, and I gave her a sample. I said, well, here, this is all we got. She was like, well, that's all we got a job. We good. I was like, man, this is ridiculous. So we finally get to the back, and she's getting me prepped for everything. And I said, well, how many do we have? The amount that she told me we had, you would have thought that he got all of it in there. I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, we're good. So I say that morning and everything was stressful. That morning and that day was stressful. So it was almost like against the odds it was done anyway. So I'm really praying that this was our cycle, because if there's a story to tell with this, it was just like almost that day started out great, but then by the time we got there, it was just, we wasn't speaking. I was crying. He was hurt. It was just, yeah. I mean, the devil really tried to get in the midst of that, but it didn't work. So I'm waiting. We're waiting. We're claiming that we are pregnant, but I'm going to keep myself together and realize, okay, let's just wait. Let's see what happens. So for now, that's where we are. Did my IUI, got all, you know, and even now I can feel that pulsating feeling on that one side, and I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking at the bleeding and the CM as a positive, and we'll see. So I will get back with you all if this video goes through. I will get back with you all on Monday evening after I have already gotten my progesterone done. And at that point, we will be on a countdown till Saturday, because I'm going to take me a test on Saturday if my period does not show up. And I'm praying it does not. So, like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions about anything that I've said or anything, I've missed you guys. I've missed not being able to update. But like I said, I've been trying to do a video for the last month. I think I've done at least 7 videos that have all failed to go through. And so I'm really hoping this one goes through. And I hope that you all will forgive me for being gone so long. But it really wasn't anything I can do. I think it might have been just my phone, my laptop. I don't know. I don't know. For whatever reason, I was not allowed to tape. So I'm grateful to be able to do it now. And we'll try my best to be more consistent if my technology allows. And I'm praying that if I record on Monday, I'll still have these. But I'm finally going to get my contacts back. I think I told y'all I ripped my contacts sometime after my contacts. Well, one of my contacts. Sometime after my surgery. I think I wasn't really with it. And I just was trying to take it out. I put it in. I don't even remember. And just ripped it. So I've been having these glasses on for the last 2 months. And I'm done with them. I'm like over it altogether. And I don't want them no more. So that's it. So like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you ladies and lovelies on Monday. Have a great weekend.